Hey kids, John here. I wanted to talk about air and tone production. I think that it's pretty obvious that we're playing a wind instrument. Therefore, there must be some kind of wind, and we create that. The first thing I hear from players that aren't producing a good sound is a very closed off, squeezed kind of like it's a struggle to play. Well, it shouldn't sound like that. And I think it's because what's happening is you're squeezing your throat like you're pushing, like you're trying to lift a car off your chest. Well, when you do that, I mean, the projection in my voice is huge compared to when I start to, I'm bearing down here. I'm squeezing, absolutely. But I'm not squeezing down and allowing the air to escape, as opposed to I'm working twice as hard down here to make that sound as I am squeezing, but it's releasing. You've got to keep the throat open. So instead of you hear that in the sound. You hear the wavering tone. It's because I'm squeezing, but I'm fighting it by closing my throat, as opposed to a very relaxed. That's super relaxed. I got way more sound, much easier to play. So a way to try and open up the throat is when you're breathing in, make a caw sound. And it opens up the throat, drives the air low, and then just close the embouchure and then blow. Don't change anything in your throat. Boom. Nice open sound. So practice doing that a couple times to see if you've got the air going deep into your lungs and an open throat. Boom. Again, if you're closing off your throat and you're going into the upper register, that sound familiar? Boom. Open, relaxed. There's so much more sound, and it's so much easier. So the first thing is don't close off your throat. The second thing that's interesting is double buzz. And I think there's several reasons for double buzz. I've certainly had it myself when I was super tired and my chops were just pretty haggard. I've had it. I've hit the point where I've had double buzz happen. But I think that's a combination of a couple things. I think it's a combination of having the throat a little bit closed so the air's not allowed to fill up the oral cavity in your mouth, creating the type of internal pressure behind the chops. Again, we have to blow our chops open. We have to get that to happen, okay? And if we don't have a good air column or air support behind our chops, we're going to get instead of. So what happens, in my opinion, is we're squeezing the mouth too much and not allowing the air to support the vibration. So we get that kind of sound. Okay? So relax here. That's where my air is coming out. So I'm going to set my chops right there. And I'm going to go, that's delicious. Now I got to do all of this. I've got to incorporate That's where it goes. And got to keep the throat open and don't squeeze this down too hard. We're thinking, ooh, tight corners, tight corners. We're pinching everything and not allowing the air to flow. When we very first picked up the trumpet, we got kind of a blatty sound, but it was loud. We're like that. It's loud. Why? Because everything's super relaxed. We're just going, and there it is. Wow, you know. But then we tense up, and we get all this tension in our body, in our chops, in our face, where we're, oh, you're gonna have tight corners. Okay, I've got tight corners. Why can't I play? Very relaxed. Yeah, some things happen, but is a lot better than. And when we're trying to go in the upper register, you got these corners that you're concentrating on getting these corners super tight. There's so much tension. It's here, it's in here, it's in here. I mean, wow. So much easier, okay? So, deep breath, down low, relax this. I mean, from low C to high C, it should be just relaxed. Relaxed. This is what's creating the velocity of the air needed to continue the buzz in a faster vibration or a faster frequency that creates the high note. It's great to have a solid foundation where your corners are solid, but they can't be cramped down. When I go up in the upper register, I think forward. That's where I think forward. I don't think back or crunch here. I'm not lifting weights and playing trumpet. And one of the things that's common is to play very flat on pitch. Instead of, I hear. Sure, I can push in. Yeah, that kind of brought pitch up, but what I'm doing is my tongue is sitting really low in my mouth. It's flat in my mouth. And it gives you that dead, dull, not a very resonant sound. Whoa, hey, let me make an adjustment there. And you can practice this by saying taw or toe, toe. Your toe, ee, toe, and do it slow. And then do that when you're playing the note. Again, relaxed. You can try and raise the tongue way up high, and all it's going to do is it's going to decenter the note, but it's not going to drive it that much higher. Until I get to the point where I pop into the next overtone. So the tongue position, I think, is very important as to where the center of pitch is. And the horn is going to have a natural center. That's why we have the tuning slide, is to adjust the actual pitch or sharp or flat where that note is sitting naturally. But if we're playing low on the pitch in the center of the horn, and when I'm talking about that, this is the center. That's that note wants to be in the horn. Now I'm going to drive it low. I kept my tongue positioned down instead of having it arch just a little bit. That tongue position inside of our mouth can generate the proper airflow or air column that allows the note to sound in the center of where the horn wants it to sound. And again, we can do that by going toy with our tongue, making those syllables. Driving it too high. So that's another way to get your sound to have that full relaxed sound, is to pay attention to what's happening in the cavity in your mouth. Because all this stuff directs air. And then again, for me, people always want to know, well, what about the upper register? I'm pushing forward with my chops. I'm not trying to pull back. I'm not trying to squeeze this. I'm not trying to do too much with this. Because the more you manipulate this, the more you're going to become tired when you're playing, no matter whether it's in the low register or the upper register. If you keep this set, you're going to be better off. It really is about your air column, which starts with you can tighten here and breathe out with an open throat. That's how I play in the upper register. I'm flexing in here, but I'm keeping this open, and the velocity is being created by the air column in my mouth and the tongue. That's where the change is really happening. Is that I've got different things happening inside my mouth to change the flow of the air in the upper register. And that is a whole separate video. As far as sound goes, get that basic sound happening. Open, deep breath, return it, out, relaxed. That's the key. Get that tongue to not be lazy. Make sure it's sitting in a slightly arched position. Find that position that gives you the nicest sound and go on from there. I hope this helps. Take it easy, kids.